Hi, a very good day to all of you. In this video, we are going to discuss about the ISO 45001-2018 standard, that is about occupational health and safety management system. We will be having a quick look or review or overview of this management system in this video. Let us first of all understand what exactly the ISO stands for, and what is 45001 and 2018 in it. So the ISO stands for International Organization for Standardization. This is a common thing. Sometimes you ask someone, they'll start with the International Standard Organization. So that is not the correct one. The correct is International Organization for Standardization. And 45001, what is 45001? See, for the better understanding on that part, we all are having the names. My name is Amjad Majeed, and same way, you guys will be having your names as well. So same like this is the code for the standard, the reference for the standard, or you can say the name of the standard, 45001, 45001. That is a code of the standard that is given by ISO. And 2018, that is a year of publication. If it is the first time publishing, then it will be year of publication. And if it is revised like ISO 9001 2015 version, so in 2015, in that standard, it is referring that it is a year of review. So the first is the code of the standard, the second is the year of publication or review or the update or the latest version. Keep in mind, the ISO 45001-2018 is not a legal requirement that the organization has to go for it. It is their strategic decision or the operational requirement or the business requirements for which they can adopt and they can go for. Now you will see there are two things. One is the requirement, the other is guideline. These two type of documents you might have seen while you if you like to read. Now requirement is what? Requirement is something which is in ISO term I'm referring to. The requirement, if it is a requirement standard, it can be certified. Okay, for example, ISO 45001 2018 standard. This is a requirement, so we can establish, we can implement, and we can demonstrate the compliance with that, and we can get the certification for the requirement. The guidelines are not certifiable. We cannot certify the guidelines. They simply provide the guidance that the standard which it is referring to, how that standard can be implemented or interpreted. Okay, so that is the basic difference. Now ISO 45001 2018 is a requirement. For the same, there is another guideline standard, that is ISO 45001 2000. Okay, so that explains that how you can implement the ISO 45001 2018. Occupational health and safety. What does that mean? What is the meaning of occupation? So any work which you do, the profession, your profession, or the job which you do, that is called the occupation, isn't it? The health is actually simply the state of your mind, or state of the physical or mental. So health covered actually the part of, you can say, the inner part of your body, which we cannot see. Okay, so and safety is what? We can see it. We can see if someone is injured, we can see that okay, the person is injured, there is injury. Okay, so it is a condition of being safe or feeling safe. Now if you go back for up to a couple of years back, we were having the more focus on the safety part. The health part was being ignored most of the time. So at the workplace, if someone got an injury, for example, if someone is working in a chemical working environment, so the person is exposed to some vapors, some the hazardous the dust in the environment, and used to inhale. For the health related issues, sometimes it happens that the person is working within an organization for many years, but the problem will not surface. And sometimes it comes or it is diagnosed even after the person has left the organization. So it is very, very difficult to prove that the health condition or the disease the person is diagnosed with is because of the workplace where the person has worked. So it is very, very difficult. Okay, so that is how the importance is there in nowadays in the organizations. They are equally focusing now the health issue as well, since this is recognized and well established now. Okay, so occupational health and safety means anything that is related to the workplace. Okay, now the boundaries will be defined by the organization, that what is the workplace for them. Okay, for example, if a person is living from home, whether the organization is going to consider that person on job, or once the person entered in the premises and impose his attendance in the organization, then only the person will be considered on job. So the organization is normally defining what is the boundaries of occupational health and safety management system within the organization. Now the next is the management system. What is management system? If you go with the definition, it is talking about the interrelated and interacting elements of an organization to establish policies and objectives and processes to achieve those objectives. So it covers the people actually within. When we talk about the occupational health and safety management system, it covers the people, the workforce, people who are working for the organization or within organization. So their roles, their responsibilities, the processes which the organization is having, the establishing the performance methods, the way basically the execution will happen, and the improvement strategy, and so on. So all those normally what we do, we set the policy, we establish the policies, we establish the procedures, instructions. Okay, so reporting mechanisms, all those we establish, and then we bring them under the umbrella and we call it the management system. Now the management system can cover the whole organization or the specific processes or the function as well. The organization can decide, okay, what exactly is required to be covered under the management system. But as we discussed, as we know that the ISO 45001 is the standard where we cannot claim any exclusion. So whatever the processes the organization decide to go or bring under the umbrella of management system, they have to make sure that the whole requirement of this management system are established and implemented, and they are supposed to demonstrate the compliance with the requirements of the occupational health and safety management system. Okay, so that compliance is ultimate. So that in any case the organization has to demonstrate that they are well within the boundaries of the management system. Now the core processes normally are covered without any exclusion. Now what is the aim of occupational health and safety management system? So it provides us the framework overall uh, where the legal and other requirements we establish, and it helps us to identify as well as to demonstrate the compliance with that. And the expected outcome is, excuse me, and the expected outcome is we have to avoid the injuries by the end of the day, and we have to improve the health part, that is the mental health or the physical health or inner, or the point is there should not be any disease in the workforce who is there. And overall, the aim of the occupational health and safety management system is to improve our occupational health and safety performance day by day. Now, how we can be, think of this standard that this is successful uh, and we are getting the required outcome. Now, there are some success factors which are given or referred by the standard itself. So top management commitment is one of the main and important thing. The top management uh, has to lead from the front. Okay, so we normally use the word walk the talk. Means whatever they are saying, they have to demonstrate first that yes, whatever they say, they do themselves. And effective communication means whatever you have established or whatever you are going to do, you have to make sure that it is cascaded to the each and every individual who is engaged or involved in the development, implementation, or the maintenance of this occupational health and safety management system. They should be understanding the same meaning as you intend to establish. There should not be any two way of understanding one thing. So that communication should be very straightforward, simple, and the end user or the relevant people must understand the same way as the organization is willing to, or intention, or they are looking for. This standard will help us to to think that this this is going to help us in case if there is a participation and consultation is done effectively. So the more the participation and the consultation means the engagement of the relevant the stakeholders, we are getting them in, the chances of having the successful occupational health and safety management system in place will be more. Okay, so participation and consultation, we will be having the definition for this in the my next video, where we will be discussing about the term and definitions. Also, the resources are required to be provided by the top management if they want to make it successful. Now, in the resources, the equipment can be there, people can be there, the trainings can be there, the time that is required for the effective coordination, that also is included in the resources. So the provision of the necessary resources is one of the thing as well, which if it is done effectively, so it will help us to make the occupational health and safety management system effective. So best practices as well as commitment with intent to improve, that is again linking with the all interested parties, all stakeholders, not only the top management, the middle management and the lower management as well as the workforce, all are the part of that commitment, and their willingness to improve, uh, willingness to communicate properly. Properly means effectively. Okay, so the best practices, whatever are the benchmarked or we have established within the organization, they will make sure that the same things or the intended outcome is achieved through those. So continual improvement approach must be adopted if we want to make it successful again. So continual improvement, my previous video we discussed about. The integration of occupational health and safety business processes. Now business processes, whatever the activities the organization is having, they have to make sure that in those activities, if they have established the procedures, instructions, the occupational health and safety requirements are built in. So they cannot proceed to the next step unless that step is not complied with or fulfilled. Okay, so that is the way the integration we can make sure. There are the requirements. Uh, there is a requirement established within the standard, the identification of those requirements, and then once the identification is done, we are required to make sure that we comply with those requirements as well, and they need to be reviewed and updated as and when necessary. Now it is having the PDCA cycle like all other management systems as well. The plan, do, check, act. So in the plan part, normally what we do is in occupational health and safety management system, we are looking into the hazards, risk at the workplace, and we try to make the plans for that how we can counter those, and all these should be in reference with the policy that is again the required by the management system. Now the planning is to make sure that nothing goes wrong in reference with the occupational health and safety at the workplace. Okay, where the risk we are supposed to risk and opportunities we are supposed to establish with the controls as well as the monitoring mechanism. So once we have planned that, all those the procedures, setup procedures, or the risk and all those things, the second part is the implementation of the planned arrangements or the planned activities. Then check part is about the monitoring and measurement, where your internal audit and the performance monitoring and all those things will come in. So we will evaluate, we'll check whether everything is going as we planned and implemented, everything is in complying with those. In case if there are some gaps or something is identified, then the act part will come in. If we are doing good, we'll continue doing it. That is our action. In case if there are some gaps, then the action will be to improve that part. And then it is a never-ending process. If you see in the center, it is a continual, the continuous part, basically continuous cycle. So we'll not be stopping once we have checked and we have acted whatever it was. Again, we'll go back, we'll see where we can improve, we will plan that, and then again the same cycle will start, plan, do, check, act. Now reading the clauses, how we should be reading these clauses. If you see one of if you see the standard, there are some words which are used. They are shall, should, may, or can. Now, shall is talking about the requirements, means these are the must requirements within the standard. The should is refer to the recommendation. Normally, this is used in the guidelines. If you see the Annex A of this standard, which will refer the way the interpretation or the implementation can be done for the requirement. Okay, so you can find the Annex A actually with this standard if you have the copy for that. So which is giving the guidance that how the requirements can be implemented or interpreted. Then may is wherever the may is used, it means there is a permission. We can the standard is permitting the way basically you want to do. So most of the time it is you will find may in notes of the standard clauses, and you will find that in Annex A as well. Then you are having one word that is can. Okay, it shows refers to the possibility or the capability that it can be, it is possible, or there is basically the capability that that thing can be done in other way as well. So it is normally mostly used in the clauses as well as in the notes and the guidance as well. So can be referred in all those areas. So shall, should, may, and can you will find on the standard, and that is the understanding of that. Now notes, once you are having the notes in under the some of the clauses, these notes are not auditable. Okay, these are just guidance or the clarification of whatever is being said in the clause itself. Now structure of the standard is it is having total 10 clauses. The first clause is the scope, which explain about the the purpose and how this standard will be applied, what it is covering and what is not covered. So overall understanding of the standard requirements you can see within this clause. So next clause is the normative references. This is referring to those standards or the guidelines which if you have to implement the ISO 45001, then you have to refer those. You have to read those. Okay, so we normally say that these are the indispensable the documents. Means without those reference or the documents, we cannot implement this standard. So just keep in mind that in this standard, the ISO has not given any reference to any of the standard or the guidelines. So that means this standard itself is so comprehensive that it can fulfill if you want to implement, it is having the complete information in it. So you can read it, you can get all the information whatever is required to establish and implement, and it is a complete standard itself. Then the term and definition, there are 37 definitions which are given in this standard to understand what is being said. Now, those term and definitions normally are given to develop an understanding that we are not sharing two meaning for one term which is used by the standard. Okay, so there are 37 definitions which will be having a couple of them or some of them the discussion in the next video. Then the context of the organization. So the context of the organization, this is a clause number 4. It talks about the issues, internal, external issues, interested parties, scope, and occupational health and safety management system. Then the 5th clause is about the leadership, which is having the commitment part in it, the policy, occupational health and safety policy, the roles and responsibilities and authorities, consultation and participation covered under this clause. Clause number 6 talks about the risk and opportunities, hazard identification, risk assessment, legal and other requirements, objective, and the management programs and plans. Support is talking about the resources required, the training and awareness, competence that is required to establish, maintain, and implement the management system. This is in reference with those people who are working. Communication and the documented information. 8th clause talks about the operations, the controls, hierarchy of control, operation control, hierarchy of control, if there is a change, the MOC process, change management, procurement process, in case if there is any outsourcing, how that should be dealt, emergency response, the planning, execution, mock drills, and all those things are discussed in operations. Clause number 8. Clause number 9 is about the performance evaluation, means gauging that how we are performing. So it is covering the monitoring and measurement, the calibration verification of those equipments which are being used to monitor the OHS performance. And the compliance obligation as well as the internal audit, that is one of the most powerful tool within the management system. Management review meeting, that is the top management sit together and they discuss about the overall how the performance of the management system is there within the organization. The 10th clause is about the improvement, which is covering the incident action reporting, the non-conformities, corrective actions, and the continual improvement. So we'll be having the discussion on these clauses. Under each clause, we will be having the discussion. I'll be trying to explain in the next video. So stay basically connected so that we can have the discussion and the understanding established on that as well. Now, clauses of the standards, if I refer to clause number 1 to 3, since we discussed about there are 10 clauses, so clause number 1 to 3, these are not auditable. So these are just for the guidelines. So if you are going for the certification, your reference clauses will be from clause number 4 to 10. So you have to establish your management system in reference from 4 to 10. That is a minimum. So you have to interpret, you have to establish your policies, objectives, the risk assessment, the procedures, all those requirements from 4 to 10 will be interpreted, and you have to demonstrate the compliance with that to get the certification. Now, notes, we already discussed that notes are not auditable. So you will find them under different clauses. So they are not auditable, that they are just for the guidance. Let's conclude and close with the comments. In case if you decide to go with the certificate or the establishing and implementing the management system, keep in mind the management system, the commitment is one of the key area. Unless it is not there, we will not be able to make the impact which we are looking for out of that management system. Especially occupational health and safety management system, it is not possible without the top management commitment. Now, the interpretation can be done by the organization themselves. It can vary from organization to organization. Even the same businesses, if the organization is having, means different organization, they are having the same type of business. Even in that case, their procedures, their policies can be different. So they have to demonstrate the compliance with the requirement, as I said earlier. So it is okay as far as you have established and you are demonstrating that how you are complying with the requirement, it is totally fine to go with any methodology. So participation in consultation is the key factor. So top management, after the top management commitment, This is one of the main things within the occupational health and safety. So we have to get everybody on board, whoever is interested party within the system, the occupational health and safety management system, and this process we have to run through to make it effective. We will be having the detailed discussion for each clause in the later the sessions. So stay in contact and stay basically connected. And if you are having any question or clarification regarding this video, I'll be happy to respond back. So you can put your comment or the clarification or any question in the comment section of this video. Okay, so stay connected and see you in the next video. Thank you.